Don't presume that your life is always going to be happy all the time. That is kind of nonsense in my view, in terms of understanding how life actually works. Much of the world around you is going to not cooperate with what you're doing. It's going to take an awful lot of work to actually get things to cooperate. And all of your life is going to be a balance between, yeah, this is not going my way, and then every once in a while you're going to have a moment where you're going to look back and say, hey, wait a minute, this actually was really cool. And I want to talk to you about that all of this, what we're going through, it's not meant to be easy in the day to day. That's not really what we're supposed to be doing. What is important is that you're actually getting up and doing it despite everything that's going on. So if you don't know me, I am Professor Dave Maslach. I'm an associate professor of innovation strategy and entrepreneurship. And I created this whole reciprocity project to give back as much as I possibly can. There's so many people that help me out that I wanted to pay the favor forward to help you out as much as I possibly can. Okay, so you might be trying to do something big in your life, and it doesn't matter. I don't care what that big thing is. We're all doing something big in your life, whether it's sort of buying your first home, or going into thinking about buying your first home, buying your first car, buying your first bicycle, whether it is raising a family, whether it's getting an education, whether it is investing for retirement. Everything is like this, that in the day-to-day, you got to remember that it's going to take you an awful lot of work. And that work is never easy. It's really mundane, boring stuff. It is a little tiny incremental things that you do on a day-to-day basis. And I want you to remember that when you're doing it on a day-to-day basis, most of the time you don't really feel like you actually want to do it. It doesn't feel all that good. And that's okay. That means that you are living the life that you should be living. This romantic notion that we have that is being advertised to us, and marketing and you know, different stories that you might have seen in movies and all this kind of stuff, that's romance. That's nonsense. The day-to-day is really mundane. It's really boring. You're doing the same thing every single day. And what happens is that you do the same thing every day. You do it a little bit, you do it a little bit, you do it a little bit, and you do it a little bit, and you do it a little bit. And I can go on I could do that for an entire day just to illustrate. But what's happening is, as you're doing it, there's little tiny incremental changes that you might experience. And what it is you're getting a little better in that particular area. And you have to remember, it's never about the sort of real big thing that changes you. And it's that sort of dying or that devotion towards something that is bigger than what you are currently doing right now that is important. So for me, with building the whole reciprocity project, I'm building this platform. It's a writing platform to help us do work better. That's the ultimate goal. I wanted to build this thing. I didn't have anything like this. So I was like, well, I'm going to build it and put it out in the world. And as you can see, it has improved. If you actually go onto the platform and take a look and go into it, there's little incremental things all the time. If you look at what I do on a daily basis in terms of communicating to you, it is improved. There's a lot more that's going on, that there's a lot of really interesting things. And the thing is when I'm doing this, right, you could see what I'm doing. This is everything else in my life. It's the same way. Nothing really changes on a day-to-day. It's the same thing. It looks really boring. It is really tedious. And you know what? You asked me, it'd be like, you asked me, how's your day today, Professor Maslach? And I would just say, oh, it's okay. It was the same thing that I did yesterday. And that's the truth of it. That is the truth. And you have to remember that all of this is not, a sort of really romantic story in what's going on. And in fact, it is the romance itself is the fact that you're actually doing this on a day-to-day. It is the fact that you are putting in the work when nobody else wants to. Look around you. Look at all of the people all around you and see what they have actually accomplished. The people that actually accomplish really big things, they just dedicate their time and effort towards those particular big things. And everybody else is like, It's too hard. I can't do that. There's nothing that I could do. I'm never going to be able to do that. And all of that nonsense. But it's the little incremental things that you're doing that get you to where you're going. And, ultimately what you're doing, so let's say you're building a business, for example, right? Or you're building a career, right? Ultimately, in 10 to 20 years, you're going to be someplace completely different than where you are right now if you're building that particular career. So at this moment, right now, you may be making, I don't know, $5,000 in the entire year. And you're like, man, $5,000. But in 10 years or 15 years, you might be making $100,000. Well, how do you get there? That seems like they're totally different, right? What's that? It's just that dedication every day of incrementally getting there. And what's happening is every day, so let's say you're making $100 a day. I don't know, what is 5,000 divided by? So you're making, $200 a day, right? You're making $200 a day. Well, that's a lot of money. I don't know $20 a day, right? Like that's all you're making is $20 a day when you first kind of are at the beginning. Well, the goal is to, in a month from now, you're making $22 a day or $21 a day. It's not some sort of massive breakthrough that you're going to get, and it never works like that. It's incremental, slow, tiny stuff. Every once in a while, somebody's going to come by and sort of change things up, and maybe you're going to get opportunities to go from, $25 a day to $27 a day, and you're like, oh my gosh, this is a big thing. And that's how you sort of incrementally go up. That's what it is. The whole thing, everything about it. It's really slow, tedious, boring stuff, and it's incremental. And then when you look back in 10 years or 30 years or whatever amount, you look back and you said, wait a minute, I did that. I actually got to where I wanted to go. And it's that relentless push, that little bit more, that little bit more, that little bit more every single day that gets you to where you're going to go. And I need you to sort of recognize that. You don't get there overnight. There's nothing magical. It's a slow, tedious, boring process. And you get up and you do it no matter what's going on. And you be happy when you're doing it, right? Because the whole process sucks. It is. But it's the opportunity to actually get out there and do it. That is the fun thing. That is the thing that you're getting you're able to do that, right? Like whatever it is that you're doing, it's the opportunity that's the thing that makes you so fortunate to do that, because somebody else, some other place, whether they're born in Indonesia or some other place, doesn't have that opportunity. And you have to reflect on that. You're fortunate to be able to do the things that you're doing, and you're fortunate to be able to grind at this particular thing every day. All right, take care and good luck with it. Keep going. Don't lose faith in yourself. Just keep going every day. All right, take care and have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.